10 projects in Africa funded by China. China is Africa's biggest and strongest ally, and in recent years has pumped millions of dollars into the continent, funding one mega project after another. At the close of the 2018 China-Africa Forum for Cooperation Summit held in Beijing, the world's second biggest economy announced that it had set up a new $60 billion fund meant for Africa's development as part of a raft of new measures to strengthen Sino-African ties. The fund, which is broken down into several parts, will be channeled to projects aligned to the Chinese government's Belt and the Road Initiative covering telecommunications, construction of roads, bridges and seaports, energy, and human capacity development. Considering that, here are 10 projects in Africa which are standing today and others are in the pipeline thanks to Chinese money. But first, if you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our new videos. 1. Railway projects. China's raid into Africa really began in large part due to the construction of the Tanzania-Zambia Railway in the 1970s, which began to symbolize China's contribution to African economic development. In recent years, China has made a major comeback in the African rail sector, with financing commitments on the order of $4 billion for this sector. They include rehabilitation of more than 1,350 kilometers of existing railway lines and the construction of more than 1,600 kilometers of new railroad. To put this into perspective, the entire African railroad network amounts to around 50,000 kilometers. The largest deals have been in Nigeria, Gabon, and Mauritania. In Nigeria, the Chinese have committed to financing the construction of the Abuja Rail Mass Transit System and to the rehabilitation of 1,315 kilometers of the Lagos-Kano line under the first phase of Nigeria's railway modernization program. The total cost of the Lagos-Kano rail project is estimated to be $8.3 billion, of which the Chinese were to cover $2.5 billion through a line of credit, part of which would be allocated for by supporting power projects. However, in October 2008, the Chinese rail projects were put on hold pending a review of the agreement after a period of tensions linked to allegations by Nigeria that China was not delivering on its investment promises. The most recent railway projects was the commitment to finance a 430-kilometer railroad linking Nouakchott to phosphate-rich Bofal in Mauritania, which was agreed upon in 2007. The project is financed by a $620 million China Exim Bank loan and will be implemented by Chinese Transtech Engineering Corporation. Other African countries which have had their railway systems funded by China are Kenya, Ethiopia, Angola, and Djibouti. Number 2. Trans-Maghreb Highway. Once completed, the Trans-Maghreb Highway will connect 55 major North African towns and cities, 60 million people, 22 international airports, and the region's chief universities, hospitals, and research centers along one road. Like the Trans-Siberian or Transcontinental Railway before it, the 3,200-kilometer Trans-Maghreb Highway will bind the region's economies together in ways unseen since the Ottoman or French empires. Along with Algerian and Japanese contractors, the Chinese consortium CITIC-CRRC is playing a leading role in paving the 1,200 kilometer of the Trans-Maghreb that crisscrosses Algeria. Already, an $11 billion investment, the same Chinese consortium signed an agreement with Algiers to build a $6 billion phosphate plant near the Tunisian border in November 2018. The first major and important industrial project that Algeria has launched in nearly a decade, according to then Prime Minister Ahmed Ouattara. However, bringing the said phosphate to market will require better road and rail links, which is why Chinese firms are already bidding to help Anasrif, the Algerian National Railway Network, build a line from El Akfoun, 60 kilometers southwest of Algiers to the central port of El Hamadania. 3. Ghana's bauxite exploration. Ghana's Atewa forest is one of the most beautiful and scenic landscapes in the country. It is seen as the better of the only 2 upland evergreen forests left intact in the country, forming part of the 6 dominant vegetation zones of Ghana, based on different climate zones. The Atewa forest is part of the Guinean forest of West Africa, which stretches from southern Guinea into eastern Sierra Leone and through Liberia, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ghana into West Togo. Deforestation has massively reduced the size of the forest, and the Upper Guinea forest is now restricted to a number of more or less disconnected reserves, and a few national parks acting as man-made refuges for the region's biodiversity. But for the forest, it's under threat. In 2017, Ghana signed a memorandum with China to explore Ghana's deposits of bauxite, the primary ore in aluminium. The deposits are found in two locations, Awaso with very high deposits in moist semi-deciduous forest zone of western region of Ghana, and Atewa with minimum deposits and located in the upland evergreen forest in eastern region of Ghana. Under the memorandum, Ghana will cede 5% of its bauxite resources to the Chinese. In turn, Beijing will finance $2 billion worth of infrastructure projects that includes rails, roads, and bridge networks. The Ghanaian Parliament has passed the Ghana Bauxite Integrated Aluminium Industry Act, which would provide a legal framework to exploit the country's bauxite deposits. 4. AU Headquarters. The entire $200 million project was funded by China as a gift to the AU as Beijing continues to strengthen its influence in Africa. In front of African leaders, a huge golden key was handed over and the 100-meter high building was officially opened. The tower overlooks a vast conference center where African heads of states are expected to meet for years to come. China's most senior political advisor, Jia Qingling, attended the opening of the new headquarters. The towering complex speaks volumes about our friendship to the African people and testifies to a strong resolve to support African development, he said. The new AU building dominates the skyline of Addis Ababa and is the city's tallest building. Most of the materials used were imported from China and even the furnishings were paid for by Beijing. 5. ECOWAS Headquarters. In March 2018, West African Regional Bloc ECOWAS signed a deal with China to build their headquarters at Abuja at a cost of $31.6 million. The idea of a new headquarters was initiated in 2012, but action on the said project takes immediate effect from the date of the signing of the deal. The project is expected to cater for a facility comprising offices and conference complex buildings, as well as road facilities, electrical equipment, parking lots, and security posts within the proposed site of the project. ECOWAS currently operates from 3 different buildings in Nigeria's administrative capital, Abuja. According to the president of the ECOWAS Commission, that situation was necessitated by the increasing numbers of staff. An ECOWAS-designated authority and the China Development Bank Corporation will work together to verify records of account payments at regular intervals, the statement further clarified. The development emphasizes China's political and diplomatic investment in Africa. They built the African Union headquarters in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. They are also building a new parliament for Congo Republic and rebuilding the burnt premises in Gabon. 6. Angola's Caculo hydropower plant. In 2017, Angola signed a deal with China for the construction of the Caculo hydropower project in Dondo, Angola. The project is worth about $4.5 billion and is set to provide 2,172 megawatts of electricity. The project will take about 7 years to complete. Developed by Angola's Ministry of Energy and Water, the Caculo hydropower plant project is a 2,172 megawatt run-of-the-river hydroelectric facility under construction in Kwanta North province of the southern African country, approximately 19 kilometers upstream of the Lausa hydropower station and 270 kilometers east of Angola's capital city, Luanda. The project comprises the construction of a 103-meter concrete dam with a crest length of 553 meters. The maximum length of the reservoir will be 16.3 kilometers and an area of 16.6 kilometers square will be inundated. The dam's storage capacity of 440 million cubic meters. The project is being financed through approximately $4.5 billion loan provided by the Industrial and Commercial Banks of China, along with the Bank of China's Beijing branch, China Construction Bank of Beijing, China Minsheng Bank, Ping An Bank, and the Bank of China's Shanghai Pilot Trade Zone branch. 7. Zimbabwe's new parliament. Before President Robert Mugabe was ousted, China presented the former head of state with $1 million gift, a new parliament. Construction of the new building started in 2018. Upon completion, the impressive 6-story building will accommodate joint sittings of the Senate and the National Assembly. The 2 chambers will have extra facilities such as 2 conference centers, each with a capacity to accommodate 350 people, a banquet hall capable of accommodating 1,000 people, offices for parliamentary officers, and many boardrooms for parliamentary committee sessions, as well as a parking space. The 650-seat building will replace the current 100-seat building that was built during the colonial era, which has become small for parliament business and can no longer accommodate the 350 parliamentarians and staff members. 8. Egypt's new city. Egypt's new capital city moved a step closer to reality with the announcement that Chinese developers will largely fund the mega project. The China Fortune Land Development Company agreed to provide $20 billion for the currently unnamed city after a meeting between heads of the firm and Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. This follows a previous commitment of $15 billion from another Chinese state-owned company, bringing the project close to its $45 billion budget requirements for Phase 1. Plans for the new capital city were first announced in March 2015. Government officials described the development as a solution to crowding, pollution, and rising house prices in Cairo. The 700 square kilometer city to be constructed in the desert to the east of Cairo would become the new seat of government, and it is presented as a far grander vision than the current capital. Proposals for the city include housing for 5 million people, over 1,000 mosques, smart villages, industrial zones, a 5,000-seat conference center, and the world's largest park. Number 9. Walvis Bay Container Terminal, Namibia. With container facilities, military bases, and the proprietary rights over ports everywhere from Greece, Sri Lanka, and Djibouti to Rotterdam, Hamburg, and Antwerp, it should come as no surprise that Beijing is interested in the southwest coast of Africa, a critical trade and shipping hub since the late 15th century. With $300 billion in funding from the African Development Bank, the China Harbour Engineering Company Limited is slated to open a brand new state-of-the-art 40-hectare reclaimed container terminal in Windhoek, set to increase the Namibian capital's total storage capacity from 350,000 to 750,000 containers per annum. The Walvis Bay Container Terminal will be a huge boon to helping spur the tiny 2.5 million country's nascent economy. 10. Mambilla Power Plant, Nigeria. First conceived in 1972, it took another 35 years for work to begin on Nigeria's Gagatuan Mambilla Hydropower plant. Awarding the contract to a Chinese consortium led by the Genzuba Group in 2007, Nigeria's largest power generator is slated for completion in 2030. To produce 3,050 MW of energy, the project on the Dongo River will comprise 4 dams and 2 underground powerhouses with 12 turbine generators. Completing the ground survey in 2010 and gaining environmental approval in 2011, construction began on the $6 billion project in 2017 with 85% funding from the Chinese Export-Import Bank and 15% from the federal government of Nigeria. Once finished, the mega dam on the Dongo will help power 700 kilometers of transmission lines across Nigeria and nearly double the country's total electric power production. Thanks for watching, and this concludes our coverage of the 10 projects in Africa funded by China. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and also share it with your friends.